Hi, hello everyone. Hi to all my warriors in the classroom. And I think you all are with full of energy, I suppose, right? Because I think you have loaded a lot of energy during the weekend times, and here you are on Monday with full of energy in Ameer sir's class and to fully blast it out and to learn a lot much of concepts in today's class, isn't it? Is it a yes from everyone? I hope so. So yes, this is Ameer, your physics educator at an academy, and what you'll have to do, give me an amazing thumbs up, jaldi se jaldi, if you all can see me and hear me, go for it. Everyone, all my warriors, all my amazing, beautiful students, give me an amazing thumbs up. And those who love me more and the physics more, you can also give me a heart also in the chat box. Hi, lover, cute boy, good to see you. Shan with full of energy, with heat energy. There we go. Shan, we have then Preeti. Pal, yes, all my amazing regular warriors are there in the classroom. Good evening, Devika. Preeti with full of love. Very good. So I can see lot many thumbs up and lot many hearts in the classroom, which simply says, right, I'm audible and visible. Thank you so much. And here we are with the third lecture of the chapter of work, power and energy. And in today's session, I hope many of you might be knowing which are the topics we'll be covering in today's session. Yes, we'll be covering work energy theorem, right, and the conservation of mechanical energy. These are the two amazing topics we'll be covering in today's session. I hope you all are interested for this, right? Let me tell you, this is a simple concept which we'll be using for the entire 2 years, between the next 2 years of 11th and 12th. This simple topic is so much necessary, which means we go to any of the chapter, this concept is very important. So understand this, be here in the classroom, listen to each and every concept. Okay, we'll be doing as many questions as possible, so try to be here for the next 1.5 hours and try to understand and concrete this particular concept, right? Hi Niti, Vanakkam. Hi Shivani Kumari, hello. Then Pal, Sonam, we have Marian Plus. Yes. Okay, Anushka. So hi and hello to everyone. So those who are seeing me for the very first time, those who are thinking, ये कौन बंदा है, ये बंदा कौन है, right? So myself, Ameer, I have an experience of more than 3.5 years in the field of teaching JEE, NEET and board students. I'm a BTech graduate from NIT Calicut. I taught and mentored many students and they are doing so happy in their life. This is the schedule for this particular month, right? For the next two classes also, we'll be continuing with work power energy. We'll be finishing here on 15th and then we'll be having the work power energy mentee. And then we'll be starting with a new chapter, a rotational motion. Wow, amazing. Then in the YouTube channel for Unacademy Class 11th and 12th, you know that so many amazing educators are taking the classes, right? So if you want to get updates of all the classes, the timings of all the classes on time, it'll be better idea to be a part of Telegram channel. You can see the link right here. So I hope I am expecting every one of you there in the Telegram channel, right? Then Bugs Bounty program, how many of you know? So this is an amazing way for maximum or every one of you to get prizes. What you all have to do, go to the description, there you'll find a form. Fill in the form if you're finding any inappropriate content in the videos uploaded by Unacademy platform. Compact scholarship test. I know that many of you want to be a part of an academy, right? So if you can be a part of this scholarship test and if you can get a very good mark, right? So you can learn with an academy for free. So many of the scholarship will be awarded to you. So you can see the class 11 scholarship test happens at 1 p.m. and for class 9 it is for 11 a.m. So I hope I'm expecting every one of you jaldi se jaldi enroll kar le. Emerge. Okay, so this is an amazing program. So that is designed to overcome the fear and because you know that the CBSE has launched a new exam pattern, right? Which means we'll be dealing with mostly multiple choice questions and assertion reason type questions for the term 1 exam. So you should be very thorough with all these things. So that's why we have the emerge, right? It is actually a live mock test happening throughout the students from all over India, right? You can also be a part of it. So you'll understand how to answer all these questions and how to give your answers and how to present yourself and in the best way possible, right? So this happens and all India rank will be provided. If you get a very good rank, okay, you will be there in all the social media handles of an academy here, right? That success phase will be there. And if you want to enroll for free for this exam, emerge exam, you can just use the code AMB10. So the starting date is for September 11 and it will be happening and you will be given the dates every time. Okay. So one last thing regarding the Unacademy subscription platform. After that, we'll be moving straight to our chapter of work for energy. Why we all teachers ask you to be a part of Unacademy family? Why we want all of you students to learn with an Unacademy? It's very simple, right? Because in Unacademy platform, we teachers will be teaching with a proper schedule targeting all the CBSE exams, then NEET exam and the JEE exam, which means everything is going to be in super order and you can actually track everything whatever you are learning. Okay, in simple se tarike se, the learning is going to be super simple once you are a part of Unacademy platform. More than that, you know that top amazing educators of the country are available in the Unacademy platform. If you want to learn with us, if you also want to bond with us, why I say bonding? Because you can actually talk with us, chat with us, and a good bonding, and you can get a mentoring, you can get every sort of that bonding relationship can be made with the teachers. Then study materials will be given, so you don't have to roam around looking for books. Practice test and live test series will make you super confident and will bring the best out of you. So for this plus subscription for 12 months, it will cost you 1,250 per month. And for 24 months, it will cost you 1,042 per month. So I know that everyone will be asking, sir, we want discount, we want discount. So Lele, use this code AMB10 and get 10% off discount. And those who love so much of features while learning with Unacademy, it'll be better for you to go with Iconic subscription, right? Because you will be given a personal mentor so that he'll be there around you to help you with your academic activities 24/7. Live doubt solving classes, we teachers will come live, will be solving all your doubt. This is especially for Iconic subscription. Weekly reports will help you find out what are your performances, your weak topics, and improving those weak topics will mainly help you to improve your marks, right? For all these amazing features for 12 months, it will cost you 2,333 per month. And for 24 months, it will cost you 2,000 per month. Wow. Discount, I know that. You need discount. I know that. You all are my lovely students. You need discount. So use the code AMB10. I think this is the best time to be a part of Unacademy family. Why? Because this is the right time to start your studies. You have enough months so that you can complete your entire schedule and the syllabus, right? And you can get a very good score. So I'm expecting every one of you in the platform, and yes, that's it. Now it's time for the physics. Ameer sir, the warriors are just here. If you all are ready, let me know. Let me see that fire in the chat box, Jelly. Let me see a yo, let me see a dab, let me see a smiling face in the chat box. And just tell me, all of you are super ready to learn this amazing topic of work, power and energy. And in today's session, we'll be mainly dealing with work energy theorem, which is super important. Hi, Sophia. Devika, yes, I can see some energy. Pal, ready? Yes. Zakir, ready? Shan, yes. Hi, hello, 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 everyone. So I hope, yes, I am from Kerala, Mariam. Okay, so I can see that energy. I can see that, yes, you all are ready, right? Network done is equal to total change in kinetic energy. Wow. Okay, now when someone asks you what is work energy theorem, right? It is a simple theorem which connects work and energy. So if you talk in a very funny way, I know that there are so many people who is really into fitness, right? We call them as fitness freaks, right? So this theorem may help them to find out how much of energy or how much calories or energy of food they must be having, and to keep their body fit, how much of work they have to do, right? Which means a simple relationship between work and energy, right? Shall we find out? Okay. Now, it simply says the equation for work energy theorem is the total work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. This is given in work energy theorem. I know that you need an explanation, right? You need to understand to its depth. Don't worry, Ameer sir is there. Dekh le. This is a horizontal platform. We have a body of mass m. On this body of mass m, there is a force F1 acting. Okay, let's say there is a force F2 acting with some inclination by making some angle, right? There is some force F3 acting. There is some force F4 acting. right? Let's say the body is making a displacement towards right, and the displacement amount is S, let's say. Which all are the forces doing the work? F1 will be doing the work, F2 will be doing the work, F3 will be doing the work, F4 will be doing the work. Okay, because of the work done, let's say that this mass, which was with an initial velocity of v1, has changed its velocity after making some displacement of s to v2. This is the situation, right? So the work energy theorem tells that the total work done by the force 1 plus work done by the force 2, work done by the force 3 plus work done by the force 4 is equal to change in kinetic energy, which means final kinetic energy. Let's say when the particle is here, the kinetic energy is K2, minus when the particle is initially, we call it as kinetic energy K1. So work done by all the forces acting on the body is equal to the change in kinetic energy that has happened to the body. This is the simple work energy theorem, right? So W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4, if there are n number of forces till Wn is what is actually written as work done by net force, right? That is equal to K2 minus K1, or which you will be seeing as delta K or delta K, whatever it is. This is the equation for work energy theorem, right? Okay, now let us go deep into it. Let us understand. Many of you might be thinking, or how many of you are thinking, sir, in the last class, you have taught us that work done is equal to negative change in potential energy. How many of you do remember this? Tell me, jaldi say, how many of you do remember this? In the last class, I told you work was equal to negative change in potential energy. All of a sudden, you're coming 8 o'clock on a Monday, and now you're saying work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. What is it? अर्पण easy है, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Let us do so many easy problems and then we'll decide. Yes, do you remember? Right? Okay. Now, how many of you are confused? I know that many of you will be confused. Right? Now sir is saying work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Yesterday he told that work done was change in potential energy. How can we make a connection between all these things? Okay, so is he trying to fool us? Bilkul nahi. So let us look into the equation of work energy theorem once again. What does it tells you? Work done by all the forces is equal to the change in kinetic energy. This is what I just told you, right? Once I talk about work done by the total force or work done by the net force, there comes work done by conservative force. Yaad hai na conservative force, right? Where the work done by the conservative force is independent of the path. Yaad hai? I think so. So work done by the total force include work done by the conservative forces plus work done by non-conservative forces, right? It can also include work done by other forces. So the sum of all these work is what we call it as the total work done, and this is equal to the change in kinetic energy, what we have learned. What is it? Work done by conservative, work done by non-conservative, work done by other. All the work done that is on the body is actually change in kinetic energy. Now take your memory back to what we have learned. We have learned that work done by conservative force was equal to negative change in potential energy. Gravitational force is a conservative force. Spring force is a conservative force, right? It is during that time we have used this formula, which means work done by the conservative force was equal to negative change in potential energy. So can you see a conservative force here in the work done? This is only equal to negative change in potential energy, which means this is only a part of work energy theorem, right? This is the actual, the real big one, the big person, the big daddy, the big one in the group. Okay? So work done by the conservative force is actually negative change in potential energy. Work done by all the forces equal to change in kinetic energy. अब समझ में आ गया? अब समझ में आ गया? जल्दी बोल दे with a smile on your face. हाँ सर बिल्कुल समझ में आ गया, अच्छी से समझ में आ गया, right? Okay. Understanding the concept is very important, right? Because we have to do lot many questions after this particular concept, right? At that time, don't say me that, sir, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. Okay, so good, Nishant, right, Pal? Okay, so yes. Now, let me continue. Work done by the conservative force is negative change in potential energy. Work done by non-conservative plus work done by other force is equal to change in kinetic energy, right? I'm just going to rearrange this equation. What is the rearrangement I'm going to make? This minus delta U, I'm going to take it to right side of the equation. So how will it be? Work done by non-conservative forces plus work done by other forces is equal to change in kinetic. If this comes to right, change in potential. Very important concepts, okay? So if you take the change outside, this will be kinetic plus potential. The summation of change in kinetic and potential. I have taken this delta, which simply says, what is a delta? Change. Those who don't know what delta means, I have written it here. Okay? So on the right hand side of the equation, we have change in summation of kinetic plus potential. Okay? Now, let's say that there are no non-conservative forces acting, which means non-conservative force acting on the body is equal to 0. Other force acting on the body is also 0. If non-conservative force acting on the body is 0 and if other force acting on the body is equal to 0, what will happen? The work done by each of them will also be 0. Yes or no? Which means left hand side of the equation will be equal to 0 once this condition is satisfied. Which condition is satisfied? When non-conservative force is 0, other force is 0, right? Okay. Now, if the left hand side of the equation is 0, which simply means change in the summation of kinetic plus potential energy is equal to 0. When change is 0, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? It simply means the summation of kinetic energy plus potential energy is a constant. What does it mean? The summation of kinetic plus potential energy is a constant. In which case? In which case? In this case, when non-conservative force acting on the body is equal to 0 and other force acting on the body is equal to 0. Or in simple words, if only which force acts? Conservative force act. If only conservative force are acting on the body, what will be a constant? The summation of kinetic plus potential energy will be a constant. This is what is called as conservation of, this is called as conservation of mechanical energy. तो पूछ ले, सर what is this mechanical energy? सर अचानक से ये mechanical energy कहाँ से आ गया? हाँ बिल्कुल, the summation of kinetic plus potential. Can you see this summation of kinetic and potential energy? We call it by the name of mechanical. Both of them together we call it by the name of mechanical. ठीक है? And when will this mechanical energy be conserved? When only conservative forces are acting. Mechanical energy conserved when only conservative forces are acting. बस इधर तक जल्दी बोल दे, इधर तक समझ में आ गया? हाँ, इधर तक समझ में आ गया? गुड इवनिंग निशांत, कुमकुम, जल्दी बोल दे, जल्दी बोल दे. Instead of repeating Sayali, right, what will I do is I'll take an example and I'll tell you, right? I'll be explaining the same concept by taking an example. What do you all say? Right? So that it will be more and more clear, pakka clear, right? Okay, now listen. How can I explain the same thing with the help of an example? Let's say, आप सब लोग बाहुबली देखा है ना, right? I hope you have seen बाहुबली. Na na na. Na 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 na. Okay, so that Bahubali is holding a very huge stone. Okay, obviously I am also strong enough like Bahubali, hai na, thoda sa. So let's say that your Ameer sir is having a very huge stone on his shoulder, right? Okay, so what should be coming into your mind? Is it the song na 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 na? Nah, it's not that what should be coming into your mind. The thought that should be coming into your mind is conservation of mechanical energy. So when I'm holding that stone on my shoulder, which are the energies associated with that particular stone? If it has a mass m, a potential energy u1, let's say mgh, will be there when it is at a height of h1. And what will be the kinetic energy? As I'm holding, it is not moving, right? So who is holding? Ameer sir is holding. He's so strong, bol de. So yes, as the which means as the stone is actually stationary, kinetic energy 0, half mv square. Okay, now let's see how can we make use of conservation of mechanical energy in finding out some of the unknowns here. Which means, okay, मैं थक गया, I'm just gonna leave that stone. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to leave that stone from my shoulder. So what will happen? The stone will start coming down. Let's say the stone has reached a height of h2. Right? It has reached at a height of h2. The question is, what is the velocity at that point? Arre baap re. How can I find out? We can make use of the concept of conservation of mechanical energy. Why? Because, do you remember, a condition has to be satisfied for using conservation of mechanical energy. What is that condition? Only conservative force should be acting. Is that satisfied here? Yes, bilkul, because the only force acting here is the gravitational force, and that is a conservative force. So conservation of mechanical energy can be used. Okay, understood till here? Bilkul, hai na? So write down which all are the energies associated when this ball of mass m is at a height of h2. Potential energy is mgh2, and it will be associated with a kinetic energy of half mv square. Question was how to find out this velocity v2. How will I find? Only gravitational forces acting, conservative forces acting. So conservation of mechanical energy, which means the summation of potential plus kinetic, how much is it? 0 plus mgh1 will always be a constant, whether the stone is here or whether the stone is at the point 2. The summation of that will always be a constant. What is the summation once it reaches here? What is the summation? What is the sum of both of them? What is the total mechanical energy? mgh2 plus half mv2 square. Right? The summation will be a constant whether it is at the position 1 or 2. So that's why we are able to equate the mechanical energy at the point 1 and the mechanical energy at the point 2. If you know h1 and h2, can't you find v2? Can't you find v2? है ना? हाँ सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल तो कर सकता है. So you just have to rearrange and you'll get v2. इतना ही है. देख ले कितना सिंपल, कितना सिंपल, कितना सिंपल. If you have understood the concept, give me a smile and बोल दे हाँ सर, बहुत बढ़िया था. Okay, so इधर तक सबको समझ में आ गया? Clear? Easy peasy pal. Very good. Then what about other my amazing warriors and my pyara lovely students? Jaldi bol de. Understood the concept? We are going to start doing the problems. We are going to start doing the problems. Yes, and please do note down all these concepts. It might not be available in all the textbooks, right? So it will be better if you can note it down, or if you take a screenshot if you are using a mobile phone. Crystal clear, Devika. Right, so Mr. Stark has given me lot much of fire in the class. Okay, so let's start doing the problems. Okay, let's start doing the problems. So here we go, problems. So let us start. So please be with me. Okay, this is the very first question. I'll be using all the concepts that we have learned in step by step. Okay, I'll be going slow a bit so that you can understand everything. So please be with me so that you will never miss any of the concept, right? So yes, let us go with the very first question. A ball of mass 100 grams. So mass of the ball is given. So it will be better, as we have just started doing the problems, it will be better if you can note down the important points. Is projected upwards with a velocity of 10 meter per second. So initial velocity is 10 meter per second. It returns back with 6 meter per second, which means the final velocity is 6. Find the work done by air resistance. Arey, how can we find this out? For finding this out, we have to really analyze this particular problem and understand the concept. Okay, so here you have a ball, isn't it? It is being thrown up with some initial velocity. Once it moves up, tell me which all forces are doing the work here. Which all forces? Yes, one is the gravitational force of mg is doing the work, right? So work done by gravitation, wg, let us write there. Then which force is? Then it is being told that one air resistance is there, which means if the ball is moving up, the air will be actually resisting that. You might have experienced, right? Those who have gone in bikes or cycle, if you move forward, the air will be pushing you backward. Okay, that is what we simply call it as air resistance, right? So the air resistance means a force, so that air resistance is also doing a work, right? So the total work done constitute the work done by gravity. Ek work done by air is the second one. Which formula now we can use for finding out the work done by air resistance? Jaldi bol de. Ha, the father of all the equations which connects work and energy. Which is that father? Which is that not which is that father? Which is that equation? Right? That big daddy equation. Work done by all the forces is equal to change in kinetic energy K2 minus K1. Bus, which are the work done by all the forces? Work done by gravity plus work done by air, which we want to find out. Change in kinetic energy formula, half into m into, right, v square minus u square. Mass and everything is common, so I'm going to take m by 2 as common, so it is v square minus u square. Who is going to tell me what is the work done by gravity? What is the work done by gravity going to be? Jaldi bata de. I'm going to look into the chat box. Okay, I'm not going to continue until you give me an answer. The correct answer from any of the variables in the classroom. I'll be the super happiest person. I can't move forward because this is a simple concept from work. A simple concept of conservative force. You must be giving me the answer. Jaldi bol de, jaldi. Don't give me don't make. It's 400, never. I'll give you one hint. It starts from a position and it is coming back to the same position, which means the initial and final position is the same. The initial and the final position is the same. And this gravitational force is a conservative force. Nobody. Array, work done by a conservative force. Here in this case, gravitational force in a closed path. Kitna hota hai? Closed path work done will be 0. Displacement is 0 actually, isn't it? It is coming back to the same position. Dekh le. It starts from a position, moves up and come back to the same position. So work done in a closed path by a conservative force is 0. We already have learned. अब याद आ गया है ना? और क्या सर? बिल्कुल. So substitute कर ले, याद आ गया तो, and proceed with the problems. We have to find the answer. So 0 work done by gravity, work done by air is equal to half into 100 grams is equal to 0.1 kilograms, right? Into v square minus u square. What is v? That is 6 final minus u square is equal to 10 square. So finally you will be getting a 3.2 with negative joules. Okay. What is this? The work done by air is equal to negative 3.2 joules. Why negative? Why negative? Array, work done is negative because if the ball is moving up, I'll explain. Those who forgot, I'll be explaining this. If the ball is moving up, the resistive force will be acting in the opposite direction, right? Displacement is up, force is down. Let's say if it is coming down, displacement is in the downward direction and resistive force will always be resisting in the opposite direction. That's why we have the total work done by this air resistance with a negative sign. आ गया तो आ गया, समझ तो आ गया. बोल दे, जल्दी बोल दे. हाँ सर, बिल्कुल. because I want every one of you to understand this, right? If you understand this problem, rest of the problem we can do, I say, fast, so that because you already got the concept, so we can just move, I say. Jaldi bol de, jaldi bol de. And please, those who want to note it down, you can also do that. Yes, मनसिलाई देविका, वेरी गुड, क्लियर है, बढ़िया बात है. ओके, तो हम क्या नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन के लिए रेडी? आर यू ऑल रेडी फॉर द नेक्स्ट? एंड आई वांट टू सी for this question I want maximum number of my students to give me the correct answer in the chat box even before me giving me the answer, right? That can make Ameer sir so happy. So moving, an object of mass 5 kilogram falls from rest, so you can note down whatever is given. Okay, for one more problem, next onwards will be like essay will be rushing through all the problems because you will be more thorough. Initial velocity is 0. It is told that, specified that the body is at rest through a vertical distance of 20 meter, which means a ball is falling down and the distance it covers is 20 meter. In which direction? Downward direction. Attains a velocity of 10 meter per second. Okay. How much is the work done by the resistance? Again, work done by air resistance itself is a question. Okay, now you know how to do these kind of problems. How will you do these kind of problems? Very simple. Work done by the net force or all the forces equal to change in kinetic energy, K2 minus K1. Tell me, which all are the forces acting on this body when it is coming down? Which all are the forces? Yes, it is mg, which is the gravitational forces downward. So in the equation for net work done, there will be work done by gravity plus, can you find any other force? Can you find any other force? Yes, obviously it is a completely and specifically given resistance of air, which means a resistive force will be there upward. So Fr, what is Fr? The resistive force given by air in the upward. So if a force is there, obviously a work will also be done by this resistive force, which we want to find out, is equal to kinetic energy final minus, what will be initial kinetic energy? 0. Q. Why it has to be 0? Q hona chahiye 0 because initial velocity is 0 only. So it is K2. Clear? Okay. So yes, let us start substituting. Work done by gravity. Work is equal to formula. What's the work? Force into displacement. What is the force? mg. Work done by gravity is equal to, force is mg, 5 into 10. And what is the displacement through which it is falling? 20 meters. So multiplied by 20, right? So this will be 5 2s are 10 and 1000, right? Ye ho jayega 1000 plus work done by resistive is equal to kinetic energy. The final kinetic energy formula, half into m is 5 into v square. What is v? What is the final velocity? It is 10. So 10 square is 100, right? So 5 by 2 is 2.5. 2.5 into 100 is equal to 250. So work done by the resistive is 250 minus 1000, again minus 750. I have explained why it is negative in the previous question. बता दे with a smiling face, बता दे हाँ sir बिल्कुल आपने बोल दिया. So I hope no one is going to ask you why there is a negative sign, right? Because displacement and the resistive force are in opposite direction. बस कौन कौन दे दिया? I am so eager to know how many of you have given me the answer. Those who have given negative 750 will be getting a bonus point or a bonus love from Ameer sir. Pal has given me then. Only Pal has given me the answer. Hi Ritu, you're back. Good to have you here. Yes. Okay, so कौन तंग कर रहा है? Stark. So Sophia has given me the Fahim, it is not plus 750 minus 750. There is a huge difference between positive and negative work done, right? I have explained in the very first class. तो हो गया है ना? समझ तो हो गया सबको? Everyone understood without a single doubt? Devika, yes, very good. So shall we do the next problem? Okay, as we move further and further, right, the difficulty level of the questions will be slowly increasing. So if you are able to do each and every problems, it simply means you are also getting tougher and tougher, or smarter and smarter, brilliant and brilliant, right? So yes, let's start doing this question all together. Okay, so here we go. A block of mass 10 kilogram is moving in x direction with a constant speed. So initial velocity is 10 meter per second given. Mass is 10 kilogram given. It is subjected to a retarding force. अरे क्या दे दिया? A force is given minus 0.1 x. अरे ये क्या है? What is x value? ये क्या होता है? X simply means as the x value changes, as the x coordinate changes, f will also change. So what kind of a force is f? It is a variable force. Keep this in mind. And it changes its x from 20 meter to 30 meter. So initial value of x is 20 and it is moving to a value of 30. The question is, find its final kinetic energy. How many forces are there? Only one force is acting, so only the work done by that force will be there. Okay, so only work done. Question is the final kinetic energy. कैसे कैसे करेगा? अरे इतना सिंपल क्वेश्चन कौन पूछ सकता है अमीर सर के अलावा? Work done by net force is equal to change in kinetic energy, that is K2 minus K1. Now work done by net force, only one force is there, the external force that is specified in the question. So work done by the force is equal to the final kinetic energy K2, which we are supposed to find out, minus K1. What is K1? The initial kinetic. Formula half m u square, that is 10 square bus. Okay, so we are just a small distance away from finding out the value of K2. K2 kaise? If you want to find out K2, you should be having the value for the force. How many of you do remember the method to find out the work done by a variable force? Right, the work done by the variable force has to be found out, then only you'll get K2. How many of you do remember? किसको याद है? Alka has given me 475 answer. Let me check. So many are giving me the answer as 475. Let me check. How many of you do know equation to find out the work done by a variable force? Work done by variable force formula integral of f dot dx, isn't it? Yes or no? So equation for force is given how much? Minus 0.1x dx. We have to integrate x, and x is changing from where to where? X is changing from 20 to 30. So substitute कर ले, 20 to 30 integrate करना है हमको, बस minus 0.1 comes outside क्योंकि it's a constant. Constant doesn't have any role inside the integration. X dx. What is integral x dx? Those who don't know integration to its best, okay, please do learn this. Integral of x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. What is n? Any power, right? So here x raised to 1 dx. So what will be the answer? X raised to 1 plus 1, right? That is 2 divided by n plus 1. Here n is 1 plus 1, that is 2. That's it. And then you have to give the lower limit and the upper limit. Bas. So this is negative of 0.1 by 2, right? 13 or 300. First x will take, right, what, 30, right? So 30 square is 900 minus, then x will take the lower limit, that is 20. So 20 square, how much will it be? 400. Bas aa raha hai, uttar aa raha hai. So this is equal to how much? This is equal to 500, right? 500 into 0.1 is equal to 50. 50 by 2 is equal to how much? 25 with a negative sign. If you have got till here, done. Done. Okay, what is left? Only what is left is substitute here. So how much this is? Minus 25 is equal to K2 minus, so how much is this? 100, 10 square is 100, 1000, this is 500. So K2 कितना हो जाएगा? अरे बोल दे. Everyone can tell, it's not a big task. What is K2? Minus 500, take it to the left. 500 minus 25. What is 500 minus 25? 500 minus 25. सोच ले, So if it's a very tough problem, everyone can think, but those who don't want to think, the answer is simply 475, and the option is with a smile, you can say, right? Because so many concepts were in this. If you have solved, means वाह. I'll simply say वाह बच्चा लोग, वाह आप लोग बहुत आसान. What do you say in Hindi? आप लोग बहुत बहुत कमाल का है. You all are so awesome. 475, Shivansh is giving me the answer, Pal is giving me the answer, Preeti has given me the answer. Then कौन है? Then कौन है? मुझे प्यार हो गया है. किसको प्यार हो गया? शिनचान. शिनचान को प्यार हो गया है. तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम, है ना? Okay, Sai, Sophia, yes. So everyone, Sophia said, अरे यार, na. Okay, so I hope everything is clear till this part, right? Any doubts? No, I suppose. I hope everyone is having a smiling face there. Huh. So, clear? Yes? Are you all ready to do a bit more tougher problem? कौन ready है? बोल दे मुझे. Sir, I am ready to do a tough problem. Who is ready? कौन ready है to do a tough problem? Who all are so ready to start doing the tougher problems? Devika is ready, Preeti is ready. I can see the smiling faces from everyone. अरे वीके बोस रो रहा है. क्या हो गया मेरा भाई? फिजिक्स वाले के बारे में क्या ख्याल है सर? सब अच्छा है. All teachers are so amazing, right? Okay, so हम जा रहे हैं next question के लिए. So this has a bit more of concept. So please do with me. Okay, try to learn with me and try to give a bit more of concentration. And those who want to do it by themselves can give their answers in the chat box. So starting, okay. So with full of Josh, let's start. An object, okay, of mass m is tied to a string of length L and a variable force F, okay, a force which keeps on changing its value is applied on it, which brings the string gradually at an angle theta with the vertical. Find the work done by the force. Is a value for the force given? No, right? Any information given, it is simply told that a variable force is acting, that's all, right? Nothing has been told or nothing has been defined for F. तो अभी कैसे करेगा? How will you find the value for the force, right? Or how will you find out the work done by this force? Because work done is having a formula of force into displacement. If force is not given, कैसे करेगा? सोच ले. So whenever you are having trouble related to work or energy, there comes हमारा Superman आ जाएगा with the Superman rule. What is the Superman rule? हाँ यही है. Work energy theorem. The total work done by all the forces equal to change in kinetic energy, right? Okay. It is being told that, right, a mass which was actually at rest here is slowly taken and the body is kept here, which means hum slowly only we are moving the body of mass m, let's say from the position 1 to position 2, which means there is no change in kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy also 0 and final also 0 because slowly we are moving that particular string, right? Okay, now the right hand side of the equation becomes 0. Now let us expand work done by the net force. Which all are the forces available to do a work here? Next question. How many forces are there to do a work here? This is the exact way, right? You have to deal this problem or solve this problem. Which all are the forces available to do a work? Tell me one by one. The first force is the external force, right? This F, the variable force, that is doing a work, right? So in the work done by net force, you can write work done by capital F plus. Is there any other force? Whenever there is a mass, there will always be a force on it. The gravitational force, gravi or gra. What is gra? Gravitational force. Would it also be doing a work? Yes, work done by gravitation, right? Is there any other force? No. So the total work done will constitute work done by the friction plus, sorry, not friction, work done by the external force plus work done by gravitation equal to 0. इधर तक कोई गड़बड़ नहीं है. अरे कौन रो रहा है? वीके बोस क्या हो गया? क्यों रो रहा है आप लोग? आप हाँ कोई ने छोड़कर गया है क्या आपको? सो इधर तक कोई गड़बड़ नहीं. Okay, now if you can find out the value for the work done by gravitation, won't you be able to find out the work done by this F, the force here? Yes, obviously. चमका है ना? Okay, shabash beta, shabash. So how will I find out work done by the gravitation? Array simply. Now you can see that the string was actually having a length of L. What was it? The string was actually having a length of L. Now you have rotated and kept it at the position 2. How will you find out the work done by gravitation? Work done by gravitation is equal to force on the block mg multiplied by displacement in the direction of force. That was a basic definition of work done. Force into displacement in the direction of force. It's your turn. It's your turn. Jaldi सोच कर बता दे. Right? The force is mg. The force is mg itself. Now, what is the displacement in the direction of mg? If that picture is entirely clumsy, we'll draw a new picture here, right? Okay. Now the particle is here. This is L. This is L. What is the displacement of the body when the particle moves from the position 1 to 2 in the direction of mg? This is mg. Can you tell me? Okay, we'll break down the motion into 2, which means when the particle moves from the position 1 to 2, right, it is making a vertical, which means a horizontal displacement, and it is making a vertical displacement, right, which means let's say it is moving in the x direction and in the y direction. What is the work done by mg when it moves along x direction? Work done is equal to fs cos theta. Na? What will be the angle when the particle is moving along the x? 90 degree. Force is downward and along x is making a 90 degree. So work done when the particle has made a horizontal displacement is how much? 0 in the horizontal direction, WH in the horizontal direction. Now you have to know that the force mg is only doing work. Once again, the force mg is only doing work on the body. In which direction? In the y direction. Work done kitna hai? Work done is force mg. Displacement is how much? This y. And what is the angle between them? mg is downward, y is upward, so angle is 180. ठीक है, cos 180 is minus. बस इतना ही है. What did I say? Work done by the gravitation minus mgy. That's it. So when a particle is making some random motion, right? So for finding out the work done by gravity, multiply force with the vertical displacement the body makes. Here it is y. That's all. That is a simple concept I wanted to tell you. That is a simple concept I wanted to tell you. So I said whatever I wanted to tell you. My question is, have you all got it? Whatever I wanted to express. Have you all understood whatever I wanted to express? Huh? Yes? है ना? ठीक है. नहीं कोई बात नहीं शिवांश. थैंक यू सो मच. सो इधर तक ठीक है, समझ में आ गया? बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, है ना? जल्दी बोल दे. हाँ सर, बिल्कुल समझ में आ गया, है ना? With a smiling face. Now my question, or our question, it is not like my question, right? We together are doing this problem. How will I find, or how will we find the value of y? कैसे मिलेगा y का वैल्यू? जल्दी बोल दे, कैसे करेगा y का वैल्यू? Y is this vertical displacement from here to here. What is the value of y? What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this. Okay, the total length is L, this total length, right? Okay, now from the total length L, if I can substitute, let's say this is some t, won't I get y? Y is equal to, from the total length of L, I am subtracting this red color length, that is t. Won't I get y, the vertical displacement? है ना? हाँ बिल्कुल. So L minus, how will I get t? अरे देख ले, this is theta, this length is hypotenuse, this is a right angle triangle. Which is a right angle triangle? A, B, C. So this side is equal to, with some other color. Which color? Okay, so tell me what will this t be? It is the cos component of this L, so this will be L cos theta from the right angle triangle ABC. है ना? बोल दे विद अ स्माइलिंग फेस. हाँ सर बिल्कुल. सो टी 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 टी, ये रेड कलर टी, what can I substitute with? L cos theta, L cos theta. So L if you take outside, 1 minus cos theta. अरे 1 minus cos theta into L क्या है? It is the vertical displacement. है ना? If you get the vertical displacement, can't you find out the work done by gravity? How much is it? Minus mg into y. Y कितना है? Y कितना है? L into 1 minus cos theta. इतना ही है. मिल गया तो मिल गया, जल्दी बोल दे. मिल गया तो मिल गया. हमको क्या मिल गया? हाँ मिल गया हमको वर्क डन बाय ग्रेविटी, है ना? फॉर्मूला कितना? माइनस एम जी एल इंटू 1 माइनस कॉस थीटा. अरे बोल दे. I know that you are having a very good fun in the chat box. Whenever I ask questions, it will be better if you can post the answers in the chat box. मिल गया तो मिल गया. सोफिया हंस रहा है. Okay. Very good, very good. Now, was this our question? Never. Our question was to find out the work done by the external force F. We already have written a formula. Work done by the external force plus work done by gravity equal to 0. We already have proved and explained this, right? So, work done by external force plus this we already know. How much is it? Work done by gravity minus mgl into 1 minus cos theta minus mgl into 1 minus cos theta equal to 0. Okay, so how will you get work done by? Take this to the right hand side. I don't think nobody will be asking, sir, take it to the right hand side and write the final equation. You all know, right? You understood, है ना? सबको मेरा प्यारा वेरियस को सब पता चला. You all understood, right? Yes sir, बिल्कुल. तो कोई गड़बड़, any problems, any issues in understanding the concept or the questions we have done, please let me know. If you want to take a screenshot, please you can take, right? If you want to have a look at the whatever information is on the screen, you can have a look at it. Okay, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let us proceed to the next. Karthik, please do watch the replay. हाँ? Okay, so हम जा रहे हैं अगले क्वेश्चन के लिए. Ready है? All are ready. All are super ready, right? Okay, here we go. A block of mass m is hanging over a pulley and a smooth and light pulley through a light string. Okay, whenever you hear to the word light, okay, what it has to mean? It simply means that, right, the mass of that particular system is or body is not considered in the total system. And once you hear the word smooth, okay, what comes to your mind? In my mind, galaxy cell comes to my, sorry, galaxy's chocolate comes to my mind, right? So smooth. So once you hear the word smooth, what should be coming into your mind? It's not galaxy, the frictionless force, which means there is no friction. That should be coming into your mind. Okay. The other end of the string is pulled by a constant force F. The kinetic energy of the block increases by 40 joules in 1 second, right? State whether the following statements are true or false. The statements are tension, work done by the tension, right, and work done by the force of gravity. These are the informations given. So in order to understand which one is true, we have to really understand what is happening. Shall we? Shall we draw a picture so that you will be understanding this particular situation in the best way possible? अच्छे से समझ में आएगा? Yes sir, बिल्कुल. So you have a block of mass m, right, which is hanging on a string, and the other end of the string I am holding and I am pulling it by a force of F. So if I pull this, obviously there will be what? There will be a tension force inside the string. Who can tell me what is the value for tension? What's the value for tension? सोच ले, what will be the value of tension? It's very simple, right? What I'm going to do is take a very small mass of a very small portion of the string. What did I took? A small portion of that particular rope. This is a rope and I took a very small part of it. Mark down the forces on this part of the string. Ek force hai, external force, right? And the other force is upward T, right? And let's say this rope is, okay, will it be having a mass? No, because it is completely given that it is a light pulley and a light string, which means that the string doesn't have masses, so no mg force. So, to find the relationship between F and T, क्या करना है? What are we going to do? हम जा रहे हैं to find out the relationship between force and T. Which equation? Net force is equal to mass into acceleration. How many of you do remember? Everyone has to remember this. Which chapter? Laws of motion. अरे लॉस ऑफ मोशन याद नहीं है, लॉस ऑफ मोशन याद नहीं है, लॉस ऑफ मोशन याद नहीं तो यू कांट लर्न दिस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर ऑल्सो. याद होना ही चाहिए, है ना? एंड दिस इज सिंपल. नेट फोर्स इज इक्वल टू मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन फ्रॉम वेयर हाँ, न्यूटन सेकंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन. Which are the forces acting? T upward, let's say, F downward. So T minus F, net force, total force, in equal to mass. This is a rope we have considered, right? Rope is massless. It is already described in this particular question. So mass is 0. 0 into A is 0. So tension क्या हो जाएगा? Tension will be F. Bas, we got the answer. This the tension in the string is mg. Wrong. The tension in the string is F. That is correct. Tension is F. But you'll be thinking, sir, why are we doing questions of Newton's law of motions here? We want actually some questions related to work energy theorem, है ना? So करेगा. So look into the options B and D. It is completely related to this chapter. The work done by the tension on the block is 40. The work done by the force of gravity is 40. देख ले. Now to this same block, what is it? To this same block, is there any? Okay, so I think I'll take this. Okay, now you have to know that this was our picture, isn't it? A block of mass m, right? And here you have the string. We are pulling it by a force of F. Now, if to this particular block of mass m, if I apply the work energy theorem, work energy theorem क्या था? Yes, work done by total force is equal to, tell me, work done by total force क्या था? What was work done by total force? It was equal to change in kinetic energy. So K2 minus K1, right? Okay. Now it is told that, let us go back to the question and understand, right? The kinetic energy of the block increases by 40 in 1 second, which means K2 minus K1. The increase in kinetic energy is equal to 40. So let me substitute K2 minus K1 is 40, right? Now I have to substitute for work done by net force. Which are the forces acting on this? One is mg. So work done by gravity will be there. The other is tension. Work done by tension is also there. So the sum of work done by gravity and the tension is actually 40. What is it? Work done by gravity and tension together, their sum is actually 40. Work done by the tension on the block is 40, it is wrong. Work done by the force of gravity is 40, that is also wrong. So what is correct? The sum of the work done by tension and the gravity is actually 40, that is correct. हाँ, बोल दे, बोल दो ना जरा, जल्दी बोल दे, समझ तो आ गया? अपने क्या पढ़ाया? हम पढ़ रहे हैं साथ में वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम. अरे देख ले मेरा हिंदी इतना कितना इंप्रूव हो गया, isn't it? Don't you all think? Okay. So is this question clear? So our correct option is C. This C वाला है हमारा correct option. C वाला कहाँ है? This red color option. We got the answer. Okay. So shall we do the next question? Where is our next question? We'll do a question where all the concept is very clear to you, right? So once we do this question, you will be more thorough with the concept. Let's do such kind of a question. Let's see everyone. Song Shishir, let's see if you have time, if I am really strong enough, okay, if I have enough energy. After the class, I'll sing. If there is energy, else we'll be doing it in next class, okay? Okay, sir. Pakka, bilkul. Now, here we have the next question. So, let's read. A body is displaced from position A to position B. Okay. Kinetic and potential energies of the body at positions A and B are Ka, Ua. Kinetic energy A and potential energy at A. Kb, right? Kinetic energy at B and potential energy at B is given. Now, I know that many of you still have the doubt of total work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Work done by conservative force is equal to change in potential energy. How we can relate all these things? By doing this problem, all those doubts will be away from your head. That is a simple promise I can give you. So let's start doing this. What is it? Find work done by, first question, work done by conservative force. What is the formula to find out work done by conservative force? Think. It is not work done by the net force or the total force. Work done by conservative forces alone, such as gravitational force, spring forces, alawa. Anyone knows? Work done by conservative? Soch le. Okay, I hope at least the answer is already in your head. है ना? So yes, it is negative of change in potential energy. That is negative of final potential energy, that is 20, minus initial potential energy UA minus 30. So this is a minus of minus plus 20 plus 30, 50 with the negative sign, minus 50 joules. Bas. Idhar tak? Huh? Okay, the first question was conservative force. Now, look how the answer is going to change in the second part of this question. What is the second part? Work done by all the forces or net force. Work done by all the forces, what? Change in kinetic energy. Okay, work done by conservative forces alone, change in potential energy with a negative sign. Work done by the total force or the net force is equal to change in kinetic energy. Final kinetic, that is 10. Can you see Kb, the kinetic energy at the point B, minus initial kinetic energy, कितना है? 50. अरे 10 minus 50. सोचना पड़ेगा, बोल दे सर सोचना पड़ेगा 10 minus 50 क्या होता है? So that is equal to minus 40. Minus 40 क्या है? The work done by all the forces, right? Third part of the question. This is another important part. Important part क्या है? The third part. Forces other than conservative forces, which means work done by the forces other than conservative force. How many of you know how to do this problem? How many of you know how to do this problem? Give me a, what's it? A yo in the chat box. Those who know how to do the third part of the question. Those people only will be doing third part of the question who are not still confused. And if the third question is done, you'll get a complete relationship of everything. Good evening, Gar. Yes, Arpan understood. Very good, Arpan. बढ़िया बात है. और कोई है? और कोई है? Anyone else? Okay, so those who are still wondering how to do this third part, I'll explain. You know that work done by the total force is equal to change in kinetic energy, right? Without a negative, I'm really sorry, right? Which all forces are there inside work done by net force? Work done by conservative plus work done by non-conservative is equal to, if other forces are also there, you can also add that. Right? So I'm just adding work done by conservative plus non-conservative is change in kinetic. Okay. Work done by conservative, we already have found out. How much is work done by conservative? Minus 50. Let us write here. Minus 50 plus work done by non-conservative is equal to change in kinetic. What is the change in kinetic? It is 10 minus 50 minus 40 We already have found out. Minus 40. Just sit there, have a smile on your face because you got the answer. What is the answer? Work done by non-conservative equal to minus 40 plus 50. How much is it? Plus 10 joules. There we have the answer. Anybody gave me the answer? Yes, Arpan. Very good. Just like the way you said the concept is easy, you are giving me the answer. Perfect. Badhiya baat hai. So how many of you are more clear about the concepts of the work energy theorem after doing this problem? जल्दी बोल दे. मजा आ गया सर. बिल्कुल है ना. So if you are ready, we have a figure which is complicated, but the answer is simple. Yes, I very good. 10 joules. 10 joules. बढ़िया बात है. If you are ready, we can do another question. Array, Arpan is so ready. Here we go. Okay. In the figure shown, all the surfaces are smooth and spring constant, we already have learned what is spring constant, right? That is given as 10 Newton per meter. The spring is compressed by 2 meters, which means from its original position, I'll be applying some force and I'm compressing it. Okay, now here we have the body and the amount of compression is given as 2 meter, the x value. Okay, x value is given as 2 meter, the amount of compression in the spring. After compressing the spring, from this position of compression, you are releasing that spring. What will happen, right? The spring will be released and this will start moving. It will attain some velocity. Once it reaches here in the equilibrium position, what happens? The mass will alone be going because the mass is not attached to the system. So the mass will be just going aise. Okay? It will be just thrown away from this position. So it will go up, go up, go up. Okay, and once it reaches here at the initial position of inclination, right, it will start climbing. Once it starts climbing, velocity decreases, finally its velocity becomes 0. Right? Question. Find out the distance d traveled by the block. Is it a tough problem? Not at all. You simply have to use work energy theorem here. Work done by the total forces, change in kinetic. Initially, once that mass was compressed and it was at initial position, what was the initial velocity? 0. Once it reaches at the top, final velocity is also 0. Which means work done by the net force is equal to change in kinetic energy. Initial and final kinetic energy are 0. So, work done by the net force is equal to 0. Why? Change in kinetic energy is 0. At both the positions, kinetic energies are 0. Bas. Okay. Now tell me which all are the forces acting on the body, right? When it started moving from this position 1 until it reaches the position 2. First force, yes, the spring force. What is it? The force S. Spring force is doing the work because spring was actually pushing, because the spring was actually compressed. So once you leave the block, the spring force will be pushing and the mass will start to move. So obviously spring force is there, so you can write first work done is work done by spring force plus, then which is the other force available. After it moves, the only other force available is equal to the gravitational force mg, right? So the mg force will also be doing a work. वो क्या है? wg, वो हो गया 0. Work done by spring plus work done by gravity हो गया 0. Okay? Yes? Okay. Now let us start substituting. Work done by the spring force formula. Work done by the spring force. How many of you do remember? अरे यार भूल गया ना पूरा का पूरा. Now the spring is pushing this mass in this direction. Spring force का formula था kx and the mass is also displacing in the same direction. The spring force and x are in the same direction. So work done by the spring force is half kx square. याद है? Work done by the spring force, kal ka class, yesterday's class, I have already explained you. So it is half kx square. And going back, one more person is doing the work. वो बंदा कौन है? वो बंदा कौन है? वो बंदा है mg, which means our gravitational force. Work done by gravitation. Work done by gravitation, I already have told you, force into what is the vertical displacement or the displacement the body makes in the direction of force, h, with a negative sign. Why negative sign? Because mg is downward and displacement h is upward. Work done by gravity हो गया minus mgh. Okay, shall I substitute? हाँ सर बिल्कुल कर ले. So work done by gravity हो गया minus mgh. Okay, so now let us start substituting. We already know, देख ले, from the previous, work done by spring plus work done by gravity equal to 0. So start substituting. Work done by spring is half kx square plus work done by gravity is minus mgh is equal to 0. Right? So from here you can actually find half kx square is equal to mgh. So h is equal to half kx square by mg. Okay, ये क्या मिल गया? h मिल गया. But is h sufficient for you? Is a question asked? नहीं. You don't want h, you want this d. Is there any way? If you know trigonometry, there is an amazing way. Which is that amazing way? Simple. अरे sin 30 यूज कर ले बस. sin 30 का वैल्यू कितना है? ऑपोजिट h divided by hypotenuse d. So we can substitute for h as d sin 30. So h is equal to d sin 30 is 1 by 2 is equal to half kx square by mg. Half cancel, d is equal to k को substitute कर ले. K is given, k का value 10 into x compressed value 2 square 4 by mass is given और क्या? So mass is also 2. So 2 into g हो गया how much? 10. d हो गया 2 meters. अरे 10 cancel, 4 by 2 is 2. बस इतना ही है. अरे स्पेशली सोफिया एंड हिज बॉयफ्रेंड एंड इधर क्या क्या मिल रहा है ना? इधर क्लास चल रहा हूँ एंड यू गाइस आर हैविंग कुछ और क्या और टॉक है ना. अरे कुछ नहीं आर्ची, वो ऐसे आलतू फालतू बोल रहे हैं. तो समझ गया? हाँ, आज के लिए बस अर्पण, आज के लिए बस. I know that you are having that spirit, है ना? So Arpan is having that spirit to do more and more problems. I wish everyone was having that spirit. Everyone was like, sir, just give me the next question. Just give me the next question. Jaldi se jaldi. Okay, so is this concept clear to everyone in the classroom? Any doubts? कोई doubt है तो जल्दी बता दे. And what you all have to do? You all have to do a simple small thing, right? So many things are left to learn in tomorrow's class. We'll be continuing in tomorrow's class, right? What you all have to do? Those who haven't liked the session, those who haven't shown some love towards Ameer sir, jaldi se jaldi click on that like button and please let me know that you are enjoying the classes, you are understanding all the concepts, okay? And you are ready to come tomorrow's class and learn more with me. So what you all have to do? Click on that like button. And those who haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and so that you will get the notifications for all the classes. Now let me ask you, how many of you know regarding the special classes? How many of you know regarding the special classes? The classes that happens on the Unacademy platform. And how much you have to pay? It is completely free. So these special classes are going to happen on this Wednesday from my side, okay, at 4:30 p.m. okay, Wednesday we are having the class on gravitation. Actually, universal law of gravitation, will be discussing concept, multiple choice questions will be there, and we'll also be having some NCERT problems. And on the same day at 6 p.m., okay, same Wednesday at 6 p.m., we are having rotational motion, right? So from rotation motion chapter, we'll be mainly taking torque and angular momentum, and we'll be discussing this at what time? 6 p.m. on the Unacademy platform special classes. Those who don't know how to join for special classes, what you all have to do, you have to download the Unacademy learning app, okay, and then you have to log in the app. Then go to the menu button which you can see on the top left corner and click on special there. Then if you put the invite code, this classes whichever I told you, you will be able to access for free. Okay, and what is the code? What is the code? It is AMB10, so that you'll get the free access to the class. And the special classes are so amazing, so fun it is, because you'll have real-time interaction chat boxes. You can chat with me, talk with me, you can ask your questions in the question tab which I am supposed to reply you or clear your doubts. Quizzes will be there, leaderboard will be there. It's going to be so much of fun, so I'm expecting every one of you. Okay, and don't forget, if you are going to make the subscription for Plus and Iconic before 13th of September, right, for 12 months course you'll get extra 4 months free, and for 24 months course you'll get 6 months free. Okay, so don't forget, make use of this. An extra 10% ke liye, how will you apply extra 10% of discount? Use the code, use this code of AMB10, okay, and extra 10% of discount. So I hope everyone is happy. So how many of you will be there in tomorrow's class at 8 p.m.? How many of you will be there? Tomorrow we'll be discussing some of the important concepts as types of equilibrium and the power. Okay, 2 new topics will be covered in tomorrow's class. So I'm expecting every one of you to be in the classroom. It is super important. Don't miss the classes. Okay. Yes, Devika will be there. Okay, then rice and chicken curry is waiting for Sophia for dinner. Wow. You are lucky, Sophia. Lucky to have. Let me also go and have something. So I think it's time to say bye bye everyone. Okay, good night. We'll all be seeing in the next class. Till then, okay, let's all have a beautiful smile on our faces, have some beautiful memories, have some beautiful things to do, study well, and yes, good night, take care.